So, the internet hates Wish.
And this is the thanks I get.
Ew. Ciao all, Thomas here. I have been very curious about the new Disney movie Wish, mostly because everyone has just been talking about how woefully mid it is, especially as a celebration of 100 years of Disney animation, you know, the company that you know for animated media. It seems a bit disappointing that the way that they decide to celebrate 100 years of existence is an okay movie that looks deeply unrendered. Truth be told, I really have not cared about Wish. I've not kept up with any news about it through any of its development. I didn't waste a single thought on this movie until suddenly there was just a deluge of videos about it in my recommended. And you know, the more that I looked into it, the more I was like, you know, it feels like there's kind of an interesting concept here that's just not being very well utilized. And, you know, admittedly, the soundtrack was not helping to sell the movie. I liked this Wish, kind of. It was cute. It was fine. The lyrics were kind of blech. And throw caution to every warning sign. But I really like the melody, and I really love Ariana's performance. This is the thanks I get can die in a fire, though. Good God. It sounds like an AI wrote that song. Yeah,
I got these jeans from outer space.
This is so cringe. Guilty.
So anyhow, I decided to give this movie a chance because, you know, I wanted to see what all the hullabaloo was about. So I literally just on a whim decided to go see it today. I was the only one in my theater. Oh, this movie's not making jack shit at the box office. 2023 said no one will make any money at the box office unless your name is Barbie or Oppenheimer.
Do you guys ever think about dying?
And I would say overall, I had a good time. It was indeed an okay movie. Nothing awful, but like, you know, I kind of expect more than just, it was fine. You know, when I go to see a movie, especially if it's a Disney movie, and especially if it's a 100-year anniversary movie, I kind of expect excellence, and I don't feel like I should feel bad for that. If I had to describe this movie in a nutshell, it feels hollow. It feels incredibly hollow and very surface level. There are some interesting themes on the table here about like wishes and, you know, what they are, what they mean to people, how they're a part of us. And there's also some, you know, cool anti-authoritarian stuff in here. You know, that's pretty great. As our world slips further and further into fascism, yay. But none of it gets all that well explored. This feels like a very paint by the numbers Disney movie. It feels like they took every Disney movie that ever was, they threw it into a very cheap blender that's like on death's door, and they just poured out the horrifying sludgy remains into a cheap mug. And that's it. That's Wish, served cold. So if you don't know, Wish is set in this kingdom called Rosas. It is set in the Mediterranean Sea. I believe it is near the Iberian Peninsula. There's a lot of Spanish architecture going on. I need to research this more immediately, but I got a lot of Spanish instrumentation going on with the music specifically. I noticed it with the fashion, along with some nods to Sleeping Beauty in the fashion, which we'll also get to that. But what makes Rosas unique, hypothetically, is that it was founded by this sorcerer by the name of Magnifico. And he kind of lost everything at some point. They don't really go into like what that means or how his backstory is very vague, but he basically lost his wish and he was like, I don't want anything like this to happen again. So I'm going to create this kingdom where anyone can come and feel safe, and I will safeguard their wishes for them. So he uses his magic to bring out someone's wish when they turn 18. They give him, you know, their wish in the form of this little crystal ball. And in this movie, wishes are basically your deepest desire. They're like an intrinsic part of who you are. Think like self-actualization. That's basically what a wish is. You give him your wish, and then you don't remember what your wish was after it's gone. There's just kind of this aching, hollow feeling in you. You know, like how I felt after I finished watching this movie. And then he keeps that wish just in his tower. And they're all just chilling up there. They're just chilling in his like little lab, in his mad science lab, like little balloons just floating at the top of his room. They don't look very secure. I mean, I guess they're fine. They're just floating there. They're not really gonna go anywhere, I suppose, but I don't know. I expect more security, I guess. And once a month, he takes one of these wishes and he grants them publicly in a ceremony. People just kind of accept that, you know, they'll have to wait and be patient for their wish to maybe one day be granted. But in reality, Magnifico doesn't grant most wishes. Most wishes just sit in his tower forever, and there they will stay because his justification is these wishes might, you know, be dangerous, which, I mean, I guess that's fair. Like, what if someone wishes for, like, something horrific? Like, I'm not even going to go list them because I feel like it's 2023. We know what the worst things can be. But that also doesn't really get explored. That angle is just kind of brushed aside. We'll get there later. So Magnifico, he has the wishes locked up in the tower. Most people's wishes will never be granted. The main girlie, Asha, she really wants to be the apprentice to this man. You could say the Sorcerer's apprentice. Get ready for a lot of Disney references because that's all this movie knows how to do. It's reference shit. And she wants to be his apprentice because she genuinely loves this place and its people. Like, she has this undying love for the people of Rosas. She believes in the best in people, and I kind of love that for her. Asha is low-key the best part of the goddamn movie. She's the only reason I gave a single fuck, which sucks because I feel like for most people, she just kind of reads as this amalgamation of 2010's quirky girl energy. Like, she's just a clone of Rapunzel and Anna and Elsa and Moana and Mirabel, and I'm like, you're not wrong. Like, they really go ham on the quirky, awkward shit. She's making awkward jokes all the time. She has no clue what to say to people. It is deeply annoying. I'm so over the quirky girl shit. Can we throw this in the garbage? Okay, give our girls actual individual personalities. It was cute with Mirabel. It was cute with Rapunzel. I'm over it. Asha is at her best when she is being an anti-authoritarian rebel. Okay, she is a rebel queen, and I love that for her. Wish they leaned into that one. Genuinely, I love the way that she stands up to Magnifico when she, you know, realizes the gravity of the situation and that, you know, most people's wishes will never be granted, so they're just gonna feel this aching, sad, hollow feeling for the rest of their lives. Wish she got to, like, sass Magnifico off a little bit or, like, have a proper fucking magic duel with him. That would have been iconic. But the reason she realizes that shit is fucked is because she has this grandfather, I forget his name, but he had this wish a long, long time ago to inspire the next generation of Rosas. He wasn't very specific with it. The little orb shows him playing music, so I guess he's a musician, but he just doesn't realize it. Vagueness will be a running theme in this movie. Genuinely feels like this movie was a first draft. Anyway, Magnifico is like, yeah, he was too vague about this wish, so I can't grant it. He might start a rebellion even though he's like 100 years old. Oh, by the way, he's 100. Like, it's his birthday. He's turning 100. He might die in like a week. So Asha is hoping that by becoming an apprentice, she might be able to convince Magnifico to grant his wish, you know, before he croaks. And Magnifico's like, wow, okay, you didn't even wait a month to like ask me. You're just asking me immediately. Rude. You know, like when I phrase it like that, Asha comes across as like very selfish. Like she only cares because like it suddenly got personal for her, which like, I mean, the system is still fucked, but like, But basically, because she calls out Magnifico, he's like, all right, I'm not hiring you, and also to spite you, I'm never granting your grandfather's wish, or your mother's wish, or your wish, even though she hasn't made a wish yet. Because, you know, that's when you turn 18, and she's 17, so I feel like that could have been interesting. Maybe she doesn't want to give up her dream, and that causes a whole brouhaha. Ooh, that would have been fun. But basically, Asha's now in the unemployment line at 17. Good job, girl. You fucked up your internship. And her family doesn't believe her when she says Magnifico is fucked. So she goes into the woods to cry, and then she has her I Want song. It's kind of the only song in the movie I give a fuck about. The music on the whole is very nyeh. A lot of people have compared it to Lin-Manuel Miranda, which, like, I guess. You know, like if an AI wrote it. Apparently, this movie's music was not done by the usual Broadway talent, like other Disney movies. It was done by Julia Michaels, I believe, and she's like a pop music writer. I don't know why the hell they did that. Like, what were y'all thinking? Were the Broadway girlies busy? The music on the whole is just so forgettable. It's fine, it's serviceable, except for the villain song. That one is garbage.
I'll let you live it for free, and I don't even charge you rent.
But you're not going to be remembering any of it when the movie's over. The only song I come back to is, This Wish, but it's mostly just because of Ariana. Anyway, she has her I Want song, and then she remembers... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Basically, her dad, was a philosopher, and he's dead. Instead of a dead mom, this girl has a dead dad. She's not like other Disney princesses. Well, she's also not a princess, but whatever. Okay, the point is her dad is dead. And he was a philosopher, and he was like, baby, look to the stars for guidance. That's all we know about him. And he only gets mentioned like one time.
We used to climb that tree on the high ridge where it becomes just you and the stars. He'd say, the stars are there to guide us, to inspire us, to remind us to believe in possibility. Even when he was sick, he'd take me out at night to dream. All I dreamed about was him getting better.
But in the song, she goes to the big tree on the cliff, that she used to go to with him when he was alive. And she makes this wish to, have more for the people of Rosas because she believes that they deserve more, which is a cute moment. I really like that. I wish, the scene where she talks about her father passing away when she was 12, I loved that because I felt like I was getting to know her better. It felt like she was getting proper depth. And I felt like that loss kind of defined why she cares so much about helping people to realize their dreams while they're still here. And I'm like, do more with that, please. But the movie doesn't. So she makes this wish, and then this star thing shows up.
Oh my God! What is that?
Apparently, no one thought to wish on a star before her. Asha was like a revolutionary in that case. If it was that easy to summon something that could threaten the power of Magnifico, I'm surprised no one's ever done it before. But the star gets summoned, and we gotta talk about this fucking star, okay? He's a little toyetic nightmare, okay? Is he cute? Yes. But that's it. He's this little weird sprite that doesn't talk. He just makes cute noises and zips and zooms everywhere and grants wishes and does weird comedic shit. But he's not like an actual character. Apparently there was concept art that showed originally Star was going to be like a full character. Like he was going to be this boy who was like golden and made of starlight, and he was gonna be a shapeshifter, and he was gonna have this fucking fabulous cape. We were robbed. I assume it was changed because little freakazoid Star here is more toyetic. It's easier to turn him into merch for the little kitties to buy, which proves, capitalism is ruining art. Anyway, so Star doesn't matter, but he's here to help Asha free the wishes. Okay. Oh, also he makes her goat talk. I hate the goat.
I'm talking. I am talking. Ha! Who knew my voice would be this low?
Thanks, I hate it.
I get it. The joke is the goat has a deep voice. You're real proud of that, aren't you, Disney? You shouldn't be. This is the last time I'll talk about the goat because he doesn't matter. You could remove him from the movie entirely and it would be unchanged. Actually, no, it would not be unchanged. It would be better. So they go on their little mission to save the wishes or whatever. This also involves, Asha's 7 pointless friends. Apparently, they're meant to reference the 7 dwarves from Snow White. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the references for the sake of referencing things. Excuse me. Why? You don't need 7 superfluous friends, okay? That's too much. Have, 1 or 2 friends that we can bond with. Maybe have actually good writing that doesn't rely on goddamn references and nostalgia baiting, please. The only ones that I really care about are Dahlia, who's the leader. I think she's based on Doc. I believe she's also disabled. I'm not sure how, but I love her. Mostly because she feels like an actual character. I would have been fine with her. Cut everyone else, please. But they help her, steal back her grandfather's wish. But another pointless friend sells, Asha out because Magnifico is looking for the little star freak. I'd turn him in a heartbeat just because he annoyed me. But Magnifico then goes after Asha's family. He crushes the dream of her mother. We don't ever see what her mom's wish was, by the way. Her mom is a non-character. I don't know, you just got your grandfather's wish back. What if Magnifico ripped the dream out of him and crushed it instead? The dream we're actually attached to. And maybe that makes him deathly ill and he nearly dies, but then it makes it even better when he does get his wish back at the end of the movie and he lives and he's living his dream. I'm stopping myself now. So Magnifico crushes the wish and he's like, "Give me that star, bitch." And Asha's like, "No." That's it. No. I wish to God she would tell Magnifico off or be a little bit sassy, but mostly it's just going, "You're evil," and also being really awkward because she doesn't know how to fight him. But then they escape to this random island. Well, her family does. They go to the island of You Don't Matter, and then Asha goes back to the plot. Also, I forgot to mention with Magnifico, good God. They really wanted to market him as a return to classic Disney villains because, you know, that's been a complaint of modern Disney, that their villains just aren't what they used to be. It's all either movies with no villains or they're twist villains who have, like, no presence because they don't get to be evil for most of the runtime. And you know what? I feel like great villains bring out great protagonists. A great villain will challenge your protagonist and bring out the best in them while also being fun to watch because they're inciting all the goddamn conflict and causing all the problems.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
But Magnifico feels like a twist villain because he's presented as this great good guy, but then you realize 20 minutes in he's evil, and then he just... Ugh. It's weird because they try to make him nuanced with like a vague backstory.
My entire family, our lands were destroyed by selfish, greedy thieves.
Thank you for making that announcement that no one cared about.
And like semi-plausible reasons for what he does. And then he just gets progressively more comically evil. Like he gets this forbidden book of dark magic and he's like, "I'm gonna use this to find the star." And then he's crushing wishes left and right. He's getting high off of the wishes and their power. The dude is literally like snorting people's wishes off the pages of the Necronomicon. It is wild, but like not in a good way. In a you thought you ate way. He just kind of reads as a loser. He's kind of pathetic. Like if you put him in a room with the other classic Disney villains, they'd all make fun of him and shove him into a locker and I would help. It's just so bizarre that like you have all these elements of a classic Disney story and they're all just painfully mid. And also because just the movie is not taking itself seriously, it feels the need to be like self-aware and make all these references and have characters be quirky and awkward. Magnifico is even like making awkward, like quirky jokes between evil lines, and no, stop. If you're gonna have him be evil, just have him be evil. I don't know, I feel like Mother Gothel was a textbook case on how to do a narcissistic parental-like figure villain. She was a masterclass. Oh, I love Gothel. In the sense that she was a terrible person, but I also loved her. Anyhow, where were we in the stupid dumb plot? So the queen, oh yeah, there's a queen, by the way. She doesn't really matter, but basically she's realizing her husband is a lunatic. And so she's like, "Asha and her 7 pointless friends, I'm gonna help you stop my husband." Fun fact, apparently the queen was also supposed to be evil originally. We could have had a Disney villain couple. Are you kidding me? We could have had Morticia and Gomez Adams, but make it evil? We were robbed. So anyway, they have this stupid plan to like lure Magnifico out of the castle while they free all the wishes. It doesn't work for pointless reasons I will not go into, because it involves talking animals. There are far too many talking animals in this movie.
You're trying to figure out just who you are.
You're a star.
So Magnifico captures Star and he's like bullying the people of Rosas. But then Asha's like, "No, I believe in, you know, the wishes of all of Rosas." And so like she inspires them all to sing together. Okay, like I can feel the essence of this, all right? Like I can feel the essence of this community of people like banding together, desiring more for themselves and taking down this authoritarian leader. I want to love this, okay? I did kind of get chills from the reprise. But like, it's in a mid-movie where I don't really care about any of the characters except for Asha. And even then, I'm like, half the time I want to punch her. But they all sing together and they manage to free Star with the power of their wishes. And Magnifico gets trapped in this scepter. He gets trapped in this little mirror shard, and it's supposed to be a reference to like the magic mirror from Snow White. That reference can also burn in hell. And then the movie's over. The queen rules now, so monarchy good, I guess. And now the monarchy and Asha are going to work to help people achieve their dreams. Yay. And she's a fairy godmother now. Okay, great. All right. Oh, and of course, fireworks that look like Mickey ears at the castle. Thanks, I hate it. I don't know, just the concept of this authoritarian figure who like takes people's wishes, their dreams, and he's like, I will protect these for you. And then he just hoards them, leaving his people feeling like hollow and like very tired and rising up against that. Like, I like the concept of this movie. I like the idea of wishes in this movie being an intrinsic part of you. I love the message of like every one of us is like a star, in the sense of like, you know, we're all cosmically linked. We have the power within us to wish for better for ourselves and become truly great. And that is what makes our wishes special. And that's what gives us power. I love that. It's in a terrible fucking song, but I like the message. You're a star. The elements of this movie could have created something truly spectacular, I think. It's just painful that when it all comes together, it's so mediocre and forgettable. Genuinely, I can feel this movie like fading on my memory already. I don't think it's gonna stick with me as anything special. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm in love with the concept of what this movie could have been, but execution-wise, it's not even a shit show, it's just bland. And I feel like that's even worse, because at least if it was terrible, I would remember it for the rest of my life and make fun of it. So yeah, I guess those are my first impressions of the movie. It's nothing awful, but it's just kind of meh. I feel like it's really a pretty good summary of everything that's wrong with modern Disney. It's trying so hard to play things safe, to like make safe money, that it doesn't really have anything interesting to say. It doesn't really explore anything that's very interesting. It just feels like it was made for the sake of like getting something out to turn a quick buck, which is even funnier. This movie has made like no money. Capitalism ruins art. I wish for a world where we can tell stories that are very compelling, that we don't have to water down for the sake of box office returns. That's what I hope for. In that reality, Wish would have ate. And that's not a period. I definitely think I'm going to revisit this movie at some point. I've already started outlining like a full script. I'm definitely going to see the movie again, maybe with a friend if I can, you know, kidnap them into seeing this with me so I don't suffer alone. I'm also ordering the art book for this movie just because I'm really interested to learn more about like the concepts of like what this movie could have been. So expect that within the next couple months, like a full in-depth look at where Wish went wrong. Especially, I think it'll be interesting after all of the quote-unquote hate has died down, you know, to revisit it and go, you know, was it as bad as everyone said it was? And low-key, I also kind of want to rewrite Wish. I've already started rewriting it. I'm not even going to lie to you. But that I'm going to wait until after I make my like full like video breaking down the problems of Wish. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this more like off-the-cuff ramble of my thoughts and first impressions on Wish. I don't know. If you enjoyed it, subscribe for more content. I don't know. Oh, also, death to the quirky girls.